Kelly Rowland is finally exposing Beyoncé for her connections to Diddy and how the former lead vocalist of Destiny's Child was involved in the murder of Aaliyah. Beyoncé is allegedly helping Diddy contact people and pressurize witnesses in his upcoming trial. The court has evaluated each of the factors that it must consider under the relevant law, including the nature and circumstances of the offense charge, the weight of the evidence against the person, the history and characteristics of the person, and the nature and seriousness of the danger that would be posed by the person's release. Kelly and Beyoncé have known each other for almost 3 decades after working together on Destiny's Child and becoming one of the biggest girl groups of all time. Kelly saw firsthand everything that Beyoncé did, and now she's speaking out about it. She allegedly has been trying to escape Beyoncé ever since she left Destiny's Child, but hasn't been able to get away. People wanted these stories for years, and it's sad that we live in a world where people don't want to see women get along and empower each other. Beyoncé has been pushing Kelly around and never letting her have a life of her own using Diddy, Jay-Z, and their connections to music executives. Beyoncé made sure that Kelly was blacklisted and could never become as big as she was no matter where she went. Kelly eventually spoke out about this in her song Dirty Laundry did. Actress Kelly Rowland stormed out of the Today Show after being asked questions about Beyoncé initially. It was reported that Rowland, a former member of Destiny's Child with Beyoncé, was upset over a subpar dressing room. Now, it's being reported that Rowland wants to change the subject and talk about her new Netflix movie, Maya Kula. Beyoncé was jealous of Aaliyah after Jay-Z became interested in her. And even Aaliyah's husband, Dame Dash, believes that Jay-Z was responsible for the murder of Aaliyah because of Beyoncé. She didn't want anyone to overshadow her and didn't care if it was Aaliyah or her Rowland. The text discusses the ongoing tyranny in the music industry, particularly between Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The author, Jake, expresses his disbelief at the record company's involvement in a project with Beyoncé, stating that he had raped his girlfriend for her. He believes that Jay-Z and Diddy are monsters who create victim-making machines, and that they must stop this tyranny. The author also mentions the rumors about the rap world, which have been based on misogyny towards women in the lyrics. This has been borne out by the charges against Diddy, who is believed to be one of the most dangerous people he has ever met. The author believes that Diddy was chosen to keep the culture in line, as the industry continues to rape it for its precious jewels. The author also mentions that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were involved in one of the biggest blackmail and sex trafficking rings in Hollywood and the music industry. They used their influence to pressure celebrities into partying with Diddy, drug them, and use their videos as blackmail. In contrast, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were involved in murders and allegedly committed unnecessary court fees and litigations. The author argues that Jay-Z wants him to be broken or under his control, but he insists that it won't happen. He warns that he needs to learn how to control his wife, friends, and mouths, as he has been criticized for being too controlling with his music. In conclusion, the text highlights the ongoing tyranny in the music industry, with accusations of misogyny, blackmail, and manipulation. It calls for a change in the industry's approach to justice and accountability. The FBI is investigating the alleged sex trafficking activities of Beyoncé, who has been accused of being friends with both Donald Trump and Barack Obama. The conspiracy goes deeper than most people believe, as the FBI is going after a ring of collaborators who have been blackmailing and abusing minors for decades. Once these tapes come out, it's likely that Diddy will end up behind bars, as many Hollywood celebrities were worried about Diddy's parties and what was going on. The FBI and Homeland Security have said that this case remains an open investigation, and there could be more charges for other people involved. If they find out about other people involved or witnesses, they may lean on them and cooperate with the FBI or face potential charges. The trial is expected to begin before next year, and criminal defense attorneys have pointed out that the FBI and Homeland Security are involved in a case that involves sex trafficking. The FBI searched Diddy's premises on the West Coast and East Coast in Florida, but did not touch his second mansion. They seized evidence that was incriminating to others, and they had no probable cause to arrest him on any crime. They talked to Diddy at an airport before he flew to an island with no extradition agreement with the United States. The FBI has not heard anyone trying to prosecute Diddy, and the FBI's actions have raised questions about the motives behind the operation. The FBI's involvement in the case suggests that something much bigger is happening, and it's possible that Diddy hasn't been allowed to go out on bail. In conclusion, the FBI and Homeland Security's involvement in the sex trafficking case raises concerns about the potential consequences of their actions. The FBI's involvement in the case and the FBI's efforts to uncover the truth about the conspiracy are concerning and raise questions about the potential consequences of their actions. The FBI has served a search warrant on Jay-Z and Beyoncé due to the bad publicity they have received since the raid on Diddy's mansion in September 2023. Both celebrities, who were best friends with Diddy, are concerned about the potential victims and whether they were silent about the events or actually helped him. A new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. This is based on the wiretapping of phones and AirTag on children during visits, which are normal practices in the music industry. Jay-Z's backup dancer, Jaguar Wright, has already claimed that Jay-Z filmed the act and provided descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. The FBI has been given 8 of Diddy's freak-off tapes, which were handed over by a source close to Diddy's ex-wife, Kim Porter. These tapes implicate some of the biggest names in the music industry, including 6 men and 2 women. The question remains, how many of these 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage? 2 males and 2 females. And how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs? Pierce, a friend of Jay-Z and Beyoncé, expressed his concern about the publicity and the potential victims of the case. He also mentioned that there are 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, many appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated. Many of them were victims or perpetrators of victimization. And they were inebriated without knowing how much proof it was in it. John Deal Diddy's ex-bodyguard has explained that Diddy would try to obtain leverage on people he needed favors from, and everyone that he worked with had some kind of dirt on him. Unfortunately, the tapes he recorded to keep himself safe are the very things that will send him to prison. Any friends he has will not come up, and their brand is all about the money. They saw what he did to Casey with the kicking, punching, and Cassie, and they know that nobody in America likes that. Now, these people are represented by a brand, whether it's about the music, clothing, or movies. They pray that they not be on the tape doing crazy stuff, being alled up in the whole 9 yards. When the Fed comes to them and shows them what they got on tape, they are afraid that they might be on T. They know that that's why they aren't speaking up or saying nothing. They know that they might be on T because they know that they might be on T. In a recent interview on Cam Capone News, Big Homie CC warned Jaguar Wright of what Jay-Z might do to her and advised her to stay safe. She got song credits for writing for Al Green Take Me Through. But the people not wanting to let her in the club wanted her to show up to a place some of the celebrities were not allowed to go. In conclusion, the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs were victims or perpetrators of victimization. The people who were represented by a brand such as Sean Combs are praying that they are not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being alled up in the entire 9 yards. Kelly Rowland, a singer and actress, has been accused of being involved in a series of sexual assaults and other crimes. She was reportedly targeted by Beyoncé and Jay-Z, who sent him a cease and assist order. The situation has led to over 36 cases filed against Diddy and his co-conspirators in civil and criminal courts, which are expected to shake the foundations of the music industry and destroy one of the world's largest music firms. The lawsuits are expected to name people in these cases, but they will not be big names at first. Due diligence is being done to avoid hurting people if they are true. If they are, they should not have been in the room or participated in the incidents. Some instances of abuse and sexual assault include a minor boy who was told by Sean Combs that he would make him a star but needed a visit with him in private. Another incident involved a 15-year-old girl who was drugged and taken into a private room where she was raped by Mr. Combs and others. Another incident involved a 26-year-old girl who was picked up by Mr. Combs and several others in a black SUV from the airport. She was given 1 drink in the SUV and woke up the next day with pain and damage to her vagina and anus. Another instance involved a pregnant woman who was allegedly laced with something at a group dinner with Sean Combs in Miami. She woke up in the same bed again, allegedly with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and anus were torn and sore. More evidence and witness testimonies are surfacing, and the true scale of the conspiracy is starting to emerge. It is unclear whether Kelly Rowland is finally breaking free from Beyoncé, or if there is more to this than meets the eye.